I will talk about innovation, but real innovation. I'm talking about sustainable innovation. And now with the COVID-19 uh, era, we need sustainability. Sustainability in human capital development, sustainability in design, sustainability in corporate governance, too much corruption, sustainability in innovation. So we need for the new normal. The new normal requires sustainability. And what do I mean with sustainability? I will explain today. Uh, can you hear me well? Everything okay?
Yes.
Good. Good.
Yes. Yes.
So innovation is the engine of economical growth. Without innovation, you will not survive in the new normal. So, but innovation without sustainability is BS. It's just waste of time because it will not sustain, it will not be successful. And sustainability, that means it starts with yourself, self-knowledge, authenticity, holistic approach, you know, and without that, forget it. And that you see, that's why you see so many American companies. Take a look at Stanford and Harvard and MIT. They forget that all innovations start with personal innovation. They forget that from there is a link to social innovation and corporate innovation and personal innovation, and it all should be integrated. So that is what the topic of today. So people today, they don't need to make notes. I just want the students and everybody to get their attention here, to focus on my speech, my talk. All these, everything what I will say today, you can download. I have included that in all my articles, like how to design a better world, personal disruptive innovation, reshaping innovation, etc., etc. So you can find all the details in my papers. Okay, let's now talk about the what are the ingredients of real innovators. Hello, I can you mute the others? Hello. Okay, so what are the ingredients of real innovators like Einstein, Elon Musk, Nick Tesla? They all had these characteristics, these ingredients uh, uh, to design and develop new ideas, like holistic. They were all holistic design thinkers. What is that? I will come to that later. Empathic, open mindset, and very important, the balance between the right side of your brain with the left side of your brain. What is that and how do you do that? I will come to that. Okay. Now, remember what Einstein said. Einstein said the creativity is about new thinking, while innovation is about doing things, new things. Okay. So innovation is about the application of knowledge. And the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. You will be imaginative is your right side of your brain will be in balance with your left side of your brain. So we need to focus more on imagination instead of knowledge. But in order to be imaginative, you must be also spiritual. You must have a holistic approach. It must be authentic. That means it starts with you. So that is the focus today. I launched a new way of innovation, which I call sustainable circular innovation. Because remember what Einstein said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created these problems in the world. Take a look at climate change. Take a look at the race system and police brutality in America, also in India. We have created a mess. So we have created a shit. So my quote is, we cannot solve the shit with the same thinking we used when we created this shit. I cannot say it in another way because we don't understand that. We don't understand that in America, in Asia, in Europe. We need to have a new way of thinking. And that is the key here today. And that new way of thinking, I call authentic and holistic design thinking. By the way, I have published that in my book. I'm not selling my book here, okay? But I'm just telling you, everything what I discuss here is in detail described in this book with examples and proofs, okay? So today we will talk about that new way of thinking, that new way of design, that new way of solving our problems, the shit, sustainably. That is what I want to talk today about, okay? I published that also in my article, The Future of Higher Management Education. Management education are causing massive damages in society because they are not authentic, they are not holistic, and that's why they are not sustainable. I told you, the new world, the new normal requires sustainability. And that you can read in my article, The Future of Higher Management Education. So we have a big problem currently in society, and all caused by the fancy business school and the fancy universities. We have programs that are not holistic, not authentic, not integrated, and that's why they fail. Okay, that's why you have so many corruption. That's why you have so many bankruptcy. That's why we have so many unawareness about climate change. They forget personal integrity and they talk about corporate governance, blah, 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 all bullshit. So we need to understand now that all knowledge starts with self-knowledge. All learning starts with self-learning. And without self-innovation, which I call personal innovation, there will never be successful smart designs. They will not be empathic designs. How will you make your customers, the end user, happy if your designers are not happy and smart? So that is the focus here. We are missing that. Now, that's why I've started a movement globally, a movement of sustainable circular innovation. And everybody thinks I'm crazy. I am 20 years beyond the average management professors in America and Europe. They forget that. I launched this idea 15 years ago and nobody was interested. But now with COVID-19, everybody's now focused on sustainability. That's why I'm getting so much attention now, because it starts with personal innovation. And what is personal innovation? I will give you that process. Today, I will not talk about the what. I will talk about the how. There are so many books and so many fancy theories about the what. The how is important. Okay. Personal innovation is the process of unleashing your creative potential by creating new opportunities for yourself. Success will not come to you. You should attract success. So you need to create your own opportunities. There's so many people lost their job because of COVID-19 and they are sitting home. Why don't we strengthen their resilience, their mindset to be innovative and creative and imaginative and develop their own business, their own opportunities? And that is the concept personal innovation, which I launched in my book 10 years ago, in my book, Authentic Personal Branding. Okay, so the second part of this model is corporate innovation. I will elaborate on that just a minute. Corporate innovation is the application of new knowledge and ideas to develop smart new products and services and processes to add value for your company. And then you have social innovation. It's very important. It's the same thing, but to strengthen civil society. Bill Gates is a social entrepreneur. Okay. Now, these three innovations are interrelated. They are linked to each other. It is the person innovation is related to self learning, the other one corporate to organizational learning, and social innovation is linked, aligned, is associated with community learning. So you see, you should not only focus on corporate innovation. You should not only focus on social innovation. It is linked to personal. So that is my message of today. That is my message of the global movement I have started globally on sustainable innovation. Okay. Now, there are also other forms of innovation, like incremental innovation, right? Doing things you were already doing. For example, Apple is an incremental innovator. Radical innovation is doing what we did not do before. iPhone has changed a lot, and put the basis, created the stable basis for the modern smartphone. And then you have the very popular nowadays open innovation. That means do not reinvent the wheel. You don't have all the knowledge within your company. Get them from outside. Collaborate with other companies to use wisely outside knowledge to accelerate internal innovation. And then you have disruptive innovation. That is an innovation that creates new market and disrupt existing markets. Like, for example, I don't need to, I can make pictures with this, and I don't need to go to Kodak to develop the pictures, because I have better pictures with this within seconds. Okay, so the cell phone has disrupted the Kodak market. Okay, so these are the other forms of innovation, especially in the time of COVID. You need to develop smarter products, smarter ideas, faster, smarter, and sustainably. And we forget that traditional innovation and design thinking approaches fail because they are not authentic, they are not holistic, and they don't fit to the current era of COVID. Okay, so design thinking is almost 80% of my focus today. Why? Because innovation is all about applying new knowledge and developing, based on that, developing new ideas, new products and services. So it is the application. And for the application of knowledge, you need to have sustainable, holistic, and authentic design system. The current design approach is not good, not correct. And I will explain to you why. I will show you what Stanford in America, famous Stanford, how they are applying design thinking and innovation. That is wrong, completely wrong. Okay, so my definition of authentic and holistic design is this. It is the creative process of empathizing with yourself and others. While Stanford is saying, only empathizing with the end user. They forget the designer. So that is not correct. Look, this is their approach of innovation, of design thinking. Stanford Design School. Can somebody mute this lady? Now, now this is the Stanford approach of design thinking. Design thinking, again, is a process of innovation. Okay, they start with empathizing with the customer, but they forget empathizing with yourself, because how will you be imaginative if you forget yourself, if you are not smart enough? So empathizing with the end user, defining the problem, creating new ideas, developing prototypes, and testing. That is their process. Okay, in my approach, this is no sequential process. It is an iterative, concentric process. And it starts with yourself. It starts with exploring your life. I will come to that. Now, again, what I told you is design thinking. The current approaches are mainly focused on analytic thinking and how to have fancy meetings, cozy meetings, blah, 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 and partying. Listen, many innovative ideas I developed in the past 30 years. I developed them when I was alone. Okay? So this process of fancy cozy meeting and starting with the customer and not with the individual do not inspire imaginative effectively. So we neglect the advices of Einstein, who said, imagination is more important than knowledge. But how? That's the problem. We don't know how. We are just talking about the what. I will show you today how, okay? So bear with me. Now, look what Einstein said. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. So why don't we start in the kindergarten with the children with this? Make them aware about themselves. Make them aware about personal innovation. And it starts on 8 years, not 12 years. When you are 8, you need to. This process, which I'm explaining here, is based on my own life story. I started with this 40 years ago. I had my dream 40 years ago, what I wanted to realize, and adding value. That is my dream. That I study fastest and the best in the Netherlands, bachelor, master, PhD, because I had my left brain in balance with my right brain, the emotional intelligence in line with the bookkeeping, the figures. And 90% of executives in the world, they are bookkeepers. It's not in balance with this. They are not creative. They are not imaginative. So that's why you see so much corruption, so much failures in the world. Again, Harvard, Stanford, MIT, all these schools and all these fancy institutions focusing on design thinking and innovation, they focus on tools, using tools. Now, today I will not talk about all these nice tools. I have developed some new tools myself, which I will explain later. But here you can see a list of tools you can find on internet. Use these tools, but it is not about the tools. I want to give you today the big picture of innovation. Look, India wants to compete with China and with the US, smarter products, airplanes, you name it. And Modi is focused, wants to transform the Indian society in an innovative learning society. he should listen to this webinar. He should follow my webinar, because today I will give him the tools to realize that, to make India a smarter society, more creative, more innovative, and beat the world. And, hello, hello. So now, that means we need a new way of thinking. The current way of thinking is analytical. It's only focused here. We forget here, and we forget to bring it in balance. We need to have new Einsteins in the world, new Teslas, new Musks. Now, let's talk about what is the difference between the current business thinking and right side is the authentic and holistic design thinking. Let's elaborate on that. What is the difference? Okay, left is the business thinking, is we are using only the left brains. Think about the bookkeepers, the corruption, using corporate governance tools and blah, 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 creating more corruption, more rules. Okay, we need to use the right side brain. We need to balance with the left side. Okay, left is rational and analytical thinking, and right side is focusing on intuition, emotions. Left focused on analysis, right side focused on synthesis. Left focused on part of the problem, right? You need to focus on the holistic approach. You need to think in a holistic way. And for holistic thinking, you need to start with self-innovation, self-management, which I will discuss later. Focus on knowledge, right? Focus on imagination. Left, focus on human values and needs. Focus on empathy. Now, let's focus on my design thinking model, okay? My design thinking system, okay? Again, innovative design should need an implementation, need an authentic and holistic, a cyclic, iterative, and concentric approach. It cannot be sequential. That is one. Number two, the starting point is personal disruptive innovation. Okay, what is personal disruptive innovation? Is just I explained, that is the process of unleashing your creative potential and create and redesign yourself, exploring your life. Okay, approach. In my approach, personal innovation, personal disruptive disruption, and personal integrity are embedded in the first step. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Can
yes,
you
sir,
hear me?
you're audible.
Yes, sir, we hear you.
So I was on mute. I was mute all the time?
No, sir, just a second ago.
Yes. Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good. Now, let's start with the first stage of explore. Because that's the first stage of my design thinking model. Explore means exploring and redesigning your life first before you explore the design problem. In America and in Europe, we forget that. We focus on design, exploring the design problem. That is not good. Okay, so it starts with yourself. Now, I want to talk 10 minutes about this. It's very important. What do I mean with exploring your life, redesigning your life? Because especially for students, it's very important because it happened with me. If you redesign your life and know you develop yourself knowledge, you will study faster, better, and will have a better career. So let's start with that, which I call the process of personal disruptive innovation, which I launched about 10 years ago in my book, Authentic Personal Branding. Now, designers need to be innovative first to develop innovative designs for the end user. So let's start on that process. That process starts with defining your personal ambition. That's step number one. I will come to that. Just relax. Step number two is designing, developing your personal brand. I will not discuss that today because it's not important today because I want to finish in 1 hour. And then you have step number three, personal innovation strategy. Because if you can have a nice dream, but if you don't make it a reality, then you are hallucinating. Okay, that is stupid. And then you have the last step is implementation. Because this new brand or being smart has no value. It will not be successful if you don't implement your strategy, your personal innovation strategy, and your personal ambition. So for that, I have launched this model, a learning cycle called Plan, Deploy, Act, Challenge cycle. So now I will elaborate on all these three steps except the personal design thinking step. Okay, branding. First step is the first step is it is a soul searching process based on self-reflection, and for that I'm using also a breathing and a silence exercise. It is about defining your being. Who are you? What do you stand for? What is your dream in life? And which I call your personal ambition, your personal mission. And then you have your personal vision. What is your dream? If you die, what legacy would you like to leave behind? All these simple questions, but very difficult to answer. That's why I'm using a breathing and a silence exercise. It's not something like you do like this, but by writing it down, you
What's
will
your
be
personal
5
mission,
times
personal vision,
more
personal key?
effective
Who am I? Why do I
talking about it.
exist? What is my
So
personal?
can
What is my
somebody
core
mute the
belief?
other?
What
Hello,
is my
hello,
deepest aspiration?
hello.
Is
Can
it
somebody? So, and then you have also the personal key roles.
क्लास लग
That is roles which you are
अच्छा मैं
fulfilling
तो
in life.
क्या कर रहा हूँ साइड रजिस्टर क्या कर रहा हूँ
Important
ये
in
बोला उन्होंने
branding.
नहीं
Because
चीज
Mandloy sir, please unmute yourself. Mandloy sir, please unmute yourself.
can you unmute them, please? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello, can you hear me?
Done, sir,
Sunil?
done, sir,
Okay,
done, sir.
okay.
Please.
So this package, which I call personal ambition. This is the most important step in innovation. It's the most important uh, aspect of design. And we neglect that globally. This is what Einstein meant. Einstein said, imagination is important, more important than knowledge. This is the framework how you define your imagination. Look, Bill Gates is using also breathing and silence exercise to be more innovative and creative and imaginative. Okay, now let's focus on. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I have many more things to share with you. Um, the personal innovation strategy is to elaborate on your personal vision and define your personal innovation strategy. I've used you can read this article, which I have published on LinkedIn, is redesigning your life based on your personal innovation strategy. It's about a personal storyboard. I will come to that, what I mean with the storyboard. But please read this article, okay? Now, this is my personal innovation strategy as an example. Okay, now it starts, you see on the top here, your personal ambition, your brand treatment, and here are all the objectives. Your life should be in balance, and that means your financial perspective should be in balance, aligned with your knowledge and learning, external and internal, your health. Now, here you see how all these personal objectives are related to each other and all lead to be happy. How do you measure that? What are the targets? What are the actions? And here you need to sign for it, that you are committed to improve yourself. You are committed to create a better society in India. You are committed to be a better human being, and focus also on climate change. Now, this will help you to improve yourself continuously and become a smart person, and more creative and more imaginative. This process needs to be implemented, okay? And how? This is the last step with the plan, act, deploy, act, challenge cycle. Now, this cycle goes like this. Look, it starts with planning your life. That is what I just shown you. Plan your life, okay? Formulate your personal brand and your personal innovation strategy. Start small, deploy. Launch it on small scale, try it, check if it works, and if it works, then start with dedication, self-confidence, willpower, and concentration, and implement that. And then make it act. Act means make it a way of life. That means improve yourself continuously. Don't blame others for your own failures. Don't wait for others. You need to take the responsibility to develop yourself continuously and become a smarter, better human being, because that is your ethical duty. And the last step in this learning cycle is challenge. Because the challenge stage is very important. Why? After you have realized one of your objectives, you need to take a bigger challenge, because that will bring you in a stage of flow, happiness, engagement with yourself, you know, and that is challenge. Take a new challenge, a bigger one, and go for it. In this way, life will be a journey towards flow, a journey towards happiness, a journey towards success. And again, you need to attract success. It is your ethical duty to become successful in life. Do not blame Moody and other people for your own failures. You need to take the responsibility. And today I'm giving you the tools to be successful in life, for yourself, for your family, for your company, for your country, and for the world. Okay? So I'm giving you the tools. Read my articles. Here you see successful innovators.
Excuse me, sir, you got muted, sir.
Yes, it's okay now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hear you, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. We can hear you, sir.
But did
Please
you
carry
not
on,
hear?
sir.
Did you not hear me 5 minutes
Here,
ago? Yes.
a little bit, just for a while only, just
Okay.
for a
All right.
second only. You
Okay.
were.
If you
muted.
don't
Yeah,
hear
now it's
me,
good.
if you don't hear me, please give me a sign. Okay.
Sure, I'll inform you, sir.
Because this is a very important
Sure.
session. is the most important session of your school, because you need to change the society in India and in the world. And I'm giving you the right tools and techniques and the vision to do that. We have too many ignorance people in the world. They don't use the right techniques to create a better world. Anyway, left side, disruptive design thinkers, innovators. Right, they are not. Left, as I already told you, the left and right should be in balance. And then we have only the left brainers at the right side. I will not discuss all the things, but I want to highlight just some of them. Left, you are humble. Right, you have a big ego. Remember what Mahatma Gandhi said. Gandhi said, when you reduce your ego to zero, you will experience inner peace. And remember what Einstein said, ego equals 1 divided by knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the more humble you are. The less knowledge you have, the more egocentric you are. Okay, so anyway, let's go to the next slide, because again, the new normal requires empathy, and empathy requires personal integrity. And innovation without that is just BS. It will, of course, be always, you must be empathy. You must have empathy with yourself and also with the end user. Empathy is important in the new normal. Okay. Read my article, How to Develop Personal Integrity. It's about alignment with yourself. Personal integrity is telling myself the truth, while honesty is telling the truth to other people. So what is more important? Personal integrity or honesty? Personal integrity, of course. Okay. How do you develop personal integrity? That is also something we miss in leadership. By the way, personal integrity is the most important characteristic of leadership in the 21st century. Personal integrity, not about communication, personal integrity. Now, what is that? How do you develop personal integrity? How do you make it a way of life? Now, personal integrity is the alignment, the matching between personal ambition. Remember what I told you 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. What is personal ambition? I've explained that. Is the matching of that between aligning that, matching that with your personal behavior or your way of acting. The larger this intersection, the better the integrity and honesty and trustworthiness and credibility and transparency. That is the coaching process which I use in my training. It is about getting the harmony. It's about synchronizing, harmonizing your personal ambition with your personal behavior, not to come in conflict with your conscience. Because if you come in conflict with your conscience, you will not experience personal integrity. That means it is not sustainable, because your designs will not be trustworthy. You are cheating and lying. You are bullshitting. So we need to focus on personal integrity to create a better world. Climate change without personal integrity is not sustainable. Corporate governance without personal integrity is just more corruption. Take a look at what's happening in America, in India, in Europe, in Germany. This is not done in the new normal. The new normal requires integrity, no race system, smarter ideas, more new ideas, sustainable innovation, changing, making the new management programs at fancy business schools more sustainable. Now, talking about corruption, good governance, take a look what Plato said 340 before BC, 340 BC. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will always find a way around the laws. That means if you focus only on rules and guidelines to prevent corruption, that means corporate governance. They are all the current corporate governance approach globally. Large companies, large banks, governance, they all focus on rules and regulations and compliance and blah, blah, blah. It creates more corruption. And we cannot understand that. And that is not acceptable in the new normal. So why don't we learn from Plato and focus on a culture of good people, not only in companies, also in society, also in whole India. Then you will have a better awareness about climate change. Okay, so why don't we focus on creating a culture of good people in which personal values are embedded in the mind of the people? And how do you define your personal values? It's just what I just told you 10 minutes ago. You need to think about it using the breathing and the silence exercise and write it down based on the self-reflection questions. So it is, read my article, Corporate Governance Sucks. Now, then you have another element of innovation, because innovation is also related to diversity, inclusion, and belonging. You need the people within your company, and if you exclude them because they are black or they are white, how will we use all the talents within your company effectively? So I have developed a measurement system to measure that. I will not discuss that here into details, but you can read about that. It's about my article, which you can read on LinkedIn, Measuring and Creating a Sustainable Circular Culture, innovation culture, and based on the diversity and belonging. Let's now continue with the design thinking model, because I need to explain for, let me see, six, seven more steps, okay? Now, why I elaborated so long on the first stage? Because it's the most important stage. It's the most important step in innovation and design thinking, is empathizing with yourself. Now let's talk about the next stage, is empathizing with the end user. Now, that means empathy means you need to feel. When you feel and understand someone's feeling, attitude, and experience, you need to feel that. What I say is empathy is the emotional connection you make with others. The emotional connection. That's why I published that book, Authentic and Holistic, Authentic Personal Branding 10 years ago. It is to make the emotional connection with your audience. Okay, that is empathy. Then you have the next stage, is defining the problem in a customer-centered manner based on your empathize research. The next stage is ideate, is developing new ideas. It's a process of generating ideas. Okay, but as I told you in the beginning, the best ideas come when you are alone. That is my experience. I have developed many great ideas when I was alone. So you need to think about that. You don't need to have all fancy brainstorming sessions to develop new ideas. It's all about imaginative. If you are not imaginative, if your right side of the brain is not in balance with that, you will never be able to define or develop new ideas when you are alone. Now, then you have the initiated stage. That is the kickoff meeting, bringing the problem statement up for discussion and start the rules for developing ideas like brainstorming, etc. I will discuss some of this one, for example. I love this tool. I've used it in the past 20 years, many times, very successfully. Affinity diagram. That means write down the problem and then put it on post-it notes, and then quietly put it into groups, and then put headings, cards, and then put the groups in order, in the right order to solve the problems. Okay, this is affinity diagram. This is a very nice one. This is mind mapping. You know that already. Mind mapping. This is an example of a mind map of a car. And then the next stage is thinking. As you know, there are two main types of thinking: convergent thinking, the type of thinking when you find a well-defined answer to a problem. And then you have divergent thinking, get multiple options to create, develop ideas. Synthesize is the next stage. It's a combination of all these ideas into one aggregated whole. Okay. It is a combination of the ideas. If you develop a bicycle, then you will develop the parts and then you bring it together. That is synthesize. Synthesizing the whole design. Okay, that is how you bring it together. And then you have prototype. Prototype is important. It's when you have synthesized the problem, design a bicycle, for example. Now you need to get experience. You need to share it with your customers and to get feedback. Because without feedback, you are designing a bicycle that it doesn't fit and the client does not want. So you need to design a prototype to build a representation of the ideas and show it to others and get feedback and learn from the feedback. And if it's not okay, you change the design. And especially in design thinking, we are visualizing the elements of your design to get more feedback, to get more understanding how the user will interact with your product. So design thinking is also, the current way of design thinking is also visualizing using tools and techniques, which I've shown you, which you can download on internet. Okay, there are many. Okay, one of them is using storyboards to visualize your design concept from start to finish. Very important, storyboard. I have shown you my personal storyboard. That is the personal innovation strategy. Remember? You can read that in one of my articles. The storyboard. This is an example of a storyboard. See? You show your customer, hey, this is what you mean? This is how you use your product. I'm designing this. You will use it like this. And in this way, you get feedback. And based on the feedback, you improve your design and make it better. That is products storyboard. And based on the feedback, that is the next stage in the prototype stage, based on the feedback, you create a better prototype. And then you iterate again, and then you share again. You need to refine your design through iterations as the customer is further understood. So to understand the customer better, you need to have another iterative step. It's intended to, the goal of the iterative process or stage is to improve the quality and the functionality of the design. Now we go to the final stage. It's a very important one, and that is execute. And it's In this stage, the final solution is fully tested based on the feedback of the customer and then implement that. Now, the testing phase is you have multiple prototypes, you get feedback, you test it, interact with them, listen carefully with what the customer is saying, and observe how the user experience your prototype. And then refine. You need to refine again. If the design is not okay, no worry, no problem. Start again. You go through the whole process of iteration and then improve the solution or start again. Okay. And then the final stage, the most important stage and the most problematic stage is implementation. Many change projects in the world, almost 80% of change projects in the world fail. Why? Read my articles. But because of the approach is not good, no buy-in of the leaders, no effective communication. So there are so many reasons why implementation fail. Okay, and I want to prevent that. So in this new book, I have elaborated. I've given many tips how to implement your design successfully. Okay, so it is about putting the final solution into practice, such as installation, configuration, system integration, and training, procedures, and all these things. Okay. Finally, the last step in this process is ethics. I am fighting against corruption in innovation, corruption in government, corruption in the whole society, also corruption in design thinking and design. I believe in the importance of ethical behavior in this industry. That's why I launched the Design Thinking Code of Ethics. You can download my article, read about that. All these things, if you apply it today, you will see success very fast, within weeks and months, not within years, 10 years, 20 years. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. I would like to give you the opportunity to ask questions. Let me stop my screen sharing, Sunil, and then we can. Yes. I would like to give the floor to Sunil now, or to the moderator.
Yes, sir. Yes, it was a presentation is over, Mr. Hubbard. So the Q&A session will be starting. So I'm just requesting, and first of all, thanks to Mr. Hubbard for his wonderful presentation, which was very unique in holistics, in redesigning thinking, and many of the other aspects. So I'm just welcoming all my guests, students, and faculties to come up with some queries. And Professor Hubbard is here to answer the queries. I just request all to please ask their queries. Anyone having queries, please. Professor Hubbard is inviting to come up with your queries, with your questions, with your anything you want to ask with Professor Hubbard.
Sunil, maybe you can ask questions.
Okay, sir. As far as this redesigning thinking, in context of our university, I'm asking you, how innovative we can do it for our university to pull down the interest, the pull down on reshaping our university. What exactly we have to do? Because you have traveled many countries, you have done a lot of conferences, seminars, you have a lot of books, you know how to reshape, redesign the thinkings. Because if suppose students are studying in a very, you can say in a very regular model, how we have to generate the interest, how we have to reshape our university for the sake of the nation, for the sake of this humankind, sir.
Yes, it's a very, very good question you asked here. And I would like to answer this as follows. Look, first, I will give you the steps.
Right.
First, you need to redevelop. You need to make all your programs more sustainable. I've given you ingredients today. Number
Yes.
two, you need to help your students to become smarter, to be more motivated to learn, to be more passionate to learn. I've given you the tools for that. Okay. Three, you need to re-educate the professors, because innovations in the classroom starts. Innovation in the classroom starts with the innovation and the creativity of the professor. If you take a look at the professors in Harvard and MIT and Stanford, there are many smart professors, but many of them in management, I'm talking about the management field, they are not smart. They don't have the right side of their brain in balance with the left side. So it is also that package. So the curriculum of the program should be changed globally, not only at your university, globally. These are the main elements of creating a high level, top university. And I'm sure that the accreditation board is also interested in this topic, how to improve, enhance the performance of universities. So it starts again with the curriculum, it starts with the teachers, the professors, it starts with the programs, and it starts with the students. It's a holistic approach.
Yes, I mean to say the people or the student or the faculty should have to start thinking out of the box, which is where the limitation should not be there, and the designing of the curriculum would be globally, so the students will be the best fit in the global environment.
Exactly. There should be no box. Think like there is no box. That is the message of today. And we need to have a holistic and an authentic approach. You can use my design thinking model exactly to design a new university, just like how you can design a new smartphone. That model is applicable to everything in life. Also, how to redesign your life. How to write a best-selling book. It starts with the same process. So I'm asking the students to start today. Okay, so again, Sunil, it's the total approach, and just follow the steps in my design thinking process, and you will develop and launch a world-class university. So many programs at the universities I'm talking about management programs and leadership and accounting and finance. I'm not talking about technology, management programs. And by the way, also technology departments should become more creative, become more innovative, become more, have a more holistic thinking approach. So I have given you the ingredients. Just start. The only thing you need is guts. The guts, to have the guts to change your school, to change yourself. If you want to change India, start with yourself.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
This is Chetan Chauhan, Professor Chetan Chauhan from Madhyanchal University, Bhopal. How are you, sir?
Thank you. Fine.
Sir, first of all, I should thank you for the wonderful session that you have taken. And my question to you, sir, can you please more elaborate on sustainable circular innovation. And my second question is prototype in design thinking.
Yes. Um, Sustainable circular innovation. Look, circularity means you should have less waste. You should have uh, a, a way of thinking in which you are using renewable energy. You are so circular. That is the word circular. And for circularity, uh, you need a new way of thinking, and it starts with personal innovation. In circularity, you also need personal integrity. You need to be aware of yourself and the society, and also the animals and the nature. That's why I wrote that article, how to design a better world. So in the circular innovation, you have three types of innovation. You have personal innovation. All innovation start with self-innovation. It start with yourself. I've given you the process. I've given you the framework. Second is corporate innovation. Um, Applying new knowledge to add value for your company. And then the third stage is social innovation. It's the same thing, but adding value to civil society, you know, helping the society with new ideas and services. So that is the model I have explained in detail with tools and techniques to uh, have a design a better world, have a better society, which I call reshaping innovation. Now, regarding prototyping, as I said, prototyping is an important stage in the design thinking model, because prototyping is, without prototyping, you will not make your customer happy, because you will design and launch a product without having good feedback from the customer. So prototyping is making a model, uh, creating a model of your design and communicate with the end users to get feedback and improve your design. So prototyping is important. It's not only making a full design and model of your prototyping can also be just a sketch, just a drawing that is also a prototype to get feedback. The feedback again is very important, and based on the feedback you will improve your design, and then you iterate, and then you make it better and better and better.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your such a wonderful explanation. Now, may I request Rahul Bharsakre, please ask your questions.
Thank you.
Sir, if any of our student is unable, not very comfortable in English, we can listen him and we can explain
Yeah.
to the.
Yes, sir, definitely. Language is no barrier, beta. You can ask in Hindi or whichever language you want to ask.
We will convert it in English.
Yeah.
Yes, it's okay.
Hello,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, Ishtiyaq, ask me. Ask questions.
Hello, sir. Myself Ishtiyaq Ahmed from Oriental College. Sir, I have a question. That is, if manager have to bring out some innovative.
Hello, can you repeat?
Then what are the
Sorry, can you repeat? I cannot hear you. Can you repeat your question again?
I'm audible right now. I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, if a manager want to take out the innovative ideas from their employees, or want to take out the innovative things from their employees, then how he can extract all these things from his employees? What he have to do? I mean, I want to say he don't have to need continuously saying their employees, do something innovative or bring something innovative in your work, what they are doing, without telling them this continuously. How he can, indirectly he can bring out the innovative things, innovative ideas from their employees.
Yes, it's a very good question, and that is a problem all over the world. And why? This is what you get if you don't have a culture of learning, a culture of trust, a culture of innovation, a culture of empathy and love and passion. And that is what I am fighting for more than 20 years in all my 25 books. We neglect that. The focus in my books is about designing, creating a culture of learning, a, a sustainable culture of innovation, but also leadership, good governance, human HR. So this starts with the implementation. This starts with leadership, the ego of leadership. They want more power. They don't want to share. They don't want you to be smart. If you are stupid, they have more power. So it's this short-sighted. You need to have that climate of innovation, and that is the process what I have discussed. It starts with leadership. It starts with personal integrity of leader, ethical-based leadership, authentic leadership. So if you have that in place, start with the leader, you will, and then apply my model, you will create a culture of smart people working smarter instead of harder, a culture of freedom, of culture of trust. So that is what we need to do in all companies in the world, globally. Start with the culture. It is not about applying tools and techniques, what you see in America and Europe, and blah, blah, blah. It is implement that culture of integrity, knowledge, innovation, smart people, and happy people. Because if you have that culture of smart and happy people, your customers will be happy. I hope you understand what I'm saying. That is the lonely journey I am in right now in the past 20 years, to create awareness globally for a culture of love, integrity, smart innovation. And that's why I have started this innovation movement of sustainable innovation globally. Because with the COVID-19, you will not survive if you are not creative, if you don't build this culture very fast. And to survive, you need to develop new ideas. So many people are laying off right now because they are jobless because of COVID-19. So take the responsibility. Do not wait for your boss. Most bosses, leaders are destroying their own company. Do not listen to him. You take the responsibility. You redesign your life. Take all the opportunities and create your own job. If you see this culture of bullshit in your company, just leave that company and start your own business. Everybody should be a leader. Everybody should be an entrepreneur like Steve Jobs. That is what I want. That is why I launched this new concept of this movement of innovation.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Now, next question, Agni Radhika Malviya. You may unmute
Yes.
yourself and ask questions.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir. My name is Adhika Malviya, and my question to you is, sir, in today's world, we use gadgets and technology to such an extent that they have started to hinder one's creativity and innovation. So, would you like to give some pointers on how to bring up that innovation that you have within you to the surface? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you are speaking too fast, but
Yes.
I think you are asking. I think you are asking how to bring that innovation within your environment. That means you need to communicate. You need
She's asking about the side effects of the technologies in the human.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. The side effects of technology in the humans. Look, we have now, we need to talk about the side effects of smart, what do you call it? The side effect, it means you need to develop yourself, you need to disrupt yourself, because if you have disruptive innovation, you launch a new innovation in a company, uh, people are becoming distressed, they are becoming frustrated. So the side effect, it means you need to build your resilience, you need to build your strength to be able to cope with the new design innovations and designs within your company. So you need to start with yourself. You cannot survive without innovations. So the side effect means you need to start with yourself to become strong and build a strong mindset. You need to be able, you need to be prepared for the new normal. And the new normal needs innovation. Without innovation, we will not survive. So we should not talk about the side effects about humans. You need to talk about be able to deal with innovation, be able to develop your mindset, build a strong mindset, be resilient, be personal integer, and cope with innovation and stimulate that process. We need you. We need you to design a better world. We need you to design a better India. So it starts with yourself. You are very important for a better world. So it is, you need to be ready. You need to make yourself ready to be able to go with the flow of innovation. And with the COVID-19 era, with the new normal, we need innovation. And that's why I am launching the personal innovation uh, for the people's side effects to make them ready. And then you have the corporate and the social innovation. If you use all three together in in a holistic way, and you are motivated to change and to improve, yes, you will be able and you will create a better world. And that is your job.
So, how do we bring that innovation to the surface that we have inside us, but we are not able to realize?
Oh, that's a very good question. Very nice question.
Yeah.
That is a very nice question. And that is why I spoke almost, I think, 20 minutes about personal disruptive innovation. It starts with, I have given you today the tools to be smart, to become smart, to be innovative, be imaginative. And it's, please read my articles. I published almost 20 articles about that. Just click on the links and you will answer your question yourself. Because if you start with defining your dreams, writing it down, your values, for example, your mission statement, what is my main objective in life? What am I doing here? What is my passion? You do the breathing and the silence exercise, and you are much better in that than I am. Using breathing and silence, you invented breathing and silence and spirituality in India. So use it. Use it to become smart. I have given you the engineering framework to redesign yourself and become stronger and smarter and better and more ethical. And then you go to the next steps and you will see you will be successful in life. You will attract success. I've given you the tools for that. So you need to reinvent yourself to be able to go with the innovation movement. If you are not ready and just waiting for others and blaming others for your own failures and waiting for them, you will stay behind, because we are now in an innovation race globally because of COVID-19. We need to be innovative as a country, as a company, but also as an individual. And that's why I'm stressing so much on personal innovation and align that with corporate innovation and social innovation.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else, if I can ask? Any student to ask any questions? It was a very wonderful questions from Agni Malvia. You have really very good command over the English, and you had a very beautiful questions. Anyone else who can ask? Anyone from the guest? Students? So Manloy sir, I hope there is no more queries from any of our audiences. So I hope we have to finish. We just asked with Professor sir, do we have to? What's the next this thing, sir? What we have to do now? Professor Hubbard?
Yeah. So thank you so much for this, for your attention and for this opportunity to share my ideas with you guys. And I hope I'm looking forward to the next interactions with your university.
Sure, sir. We will be impatiently waiting for your next session. As well, we will going to organize our international conference here next year because we have just postponed it just because of this COVID-19. So we will definitely invite you on that session, and hopefully your presence would be requested personally, physically in our university in India at the place of Bhopal. I hope you can make some time from your busy schedule and blessed us with your presence in our university. And this was really wonderful session that despite being your busy schedule and everything you have with your other obligations you did with us. I'm really from the bottom of my heart and from my university, Madhyanchal Professional University, from my Chancellor Madam Shrimati Preeti Patel ma'am, from our Pro-Chancellor Sir, Dr. Ajit Singh Patel Sir, from our Vice Chancellor Sir, retired Air Vice Marshal Professor Dr. Pramod Kumar Srivastava ji, our Registrar Dr. Rai Sir, on all, from all the fraternity and from all the audiences, I'm really passing on my wishes for this wonderful session for you, sir.
Thank you so much. And I also want to thank you all again for this great opportunity. It is my passion. Look, it is part of my journey to help create and help design a better world. We need a better world, and it starts with you. It starts with India. And the systems we use are not sustainable. The programs we have in the universities are not good. They're not sustainable. So that is the movement. So I would like to invite you all to be linked with me on LinkedIn and be part of this global movement. Share it. So be happy. Just feel free to link with me on LinkedIn, and you will get all the information, the updates every week. Okay, thank you so much, and
thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
And thank you, sir. I will definitely share your all links with my entire faculties and with my students. Thank you, sir.
And thank you, and let them link with me. Let send me an invitation to link. Thank you so much. Okay, bye bye.
Thank you, Saurabh Mandle, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.